These 5 zodiac signs can rise from the ashes. They are the strongest. There are people who are impossible to break. They can be betrayed, trampled, thrown to the very bottom. But it is where others disappear that they only begin to breathe for real. These people do not just survive. They rise. Today you will learn about 5 zodiac signs that are able to rise from scratch, break out of pain, ashes, failures, and turn all this into their strength. Not theoretically, but in practice, because there is something in their character that cannot be bought, taught, or stolen. If you are looking for support within yourself or have long been waiting for a sign that it is time to return to the game, watch to the end. Perhaps your sign is on this list, and you just forgot what you are really capable of. Share in the comments. Have you ever had to start from scratch? Or maybe you are right now at that very moment when it seems that there is no way out. Right, I read everyone. Subscribe to the channel if you want to receive not just horoscopes, but words that really awaken. Because here we are not talking about fairy tales, but about the inner strength that you have long deserved to use. The first sign is Leo. The strength of Leo does not begin with a roar, but with silence. A real Leo knows how to remain silent when he is being torn to shreds. Knows how to stand when everything is collapsing. Knows how to wait when the whole world is rushing to pass by. And this is his gift to rise from the ashes. He does not do it ostentatiously. He does not ask for support. He does not scream for help. He dies inside, and is reborn again, with the same body, but with a different heart. When Leo falls, this is not the end. This is the calm before the explosion. This is the moment when he, lying in the dust, already feels how his bones are gathering into shape again. He is one of the few who are able to lose everything and rise higher than he was before. When Leo burns, this flame can be seen for kilometers. But when Leo is ashes, no one sees him. This is his phase of disappearance. He needs to disappear in order to become again. He goes into himself, into the depths. There he gathers his strength. He takes his pride apart, to understand who he is if everything is taken away. And when he rises, he is no longer the Leo who was proud of his victories. This is a Leo who is not afraid of defeat. This is a Leo who has survived pain, betrayal, humiliation, loss, and has not lost his dignity. He becomes uncontrollable, invulnerable, unquenchable. His rebellion is not a performance. It is like an earthquake under the skin of the world. Without warning, without loud statements, he just starts doing, without unnecessary words, without explanations, and success follows him like the tail of a comet. People who saw his fall will be shocked. They will not understand how he could. How, having nothing, he again became the one who shines. But he will not tell, because Leo does not share pain. He burns it out, and when there is no more screaming inside him, it is time to take off. He will be rich when he seemed broke. He will be loved when he was rejected. He will influence when he was written off. Because Leo does not need someone else's opinion to remember his nature. He is his own fire, his own flame, his own crown. His path is not the path of luck. It is the path of the inner fire that does not go out even under the ashes. He was born to rule, and fate returns the throne to him. Always. The second sign of Pisces. Pisces do not rise, they flow. They disappear to appear in another state. The representative of this sign is not just strong. He is fluid, eternal, unpredictable. When Pisces collapse, it is like evaporation. They are not visible, not heard. They go into the shadows, into the depths, where even the light does not penetrate. But this is where their transformation begins. Their ability to rise from the ashes is in the ability to completely abandon the old shell. From the name, from the role, from everything that connected them with the past. Pisces are like a phoenix, but not burning, but dissolving in water dust, to then appear again, stronger, wiser, more impossible. Their path to rebirth lies through pain that they do not show. Pisces know how to remain silent when everything inside is breaking. Their tears are not weakness. It is alchemy. Each tear is like a ritual. Each confession is like a spell. They experience collapse, plunging into it completely, not resisting, not fighting, but accepting, and this is precisely their strength. Where others burn, trying to save face, Pisces dissolve in what is. And this gives them access to the depths, where a new essence is born. They pull out of the darkness what no one sees, and they return with a new gift. Their rebirth is quiet, invisible, but powerful. They appear like fog after a storm, like intuition that cannot be ignored. They are not about power, not about revenge. They are about knowledge. After the fall, Pisces begin to feel the fate of others. Their gaze changes. It becomes deep, prophetic. People feel, this person was there, where it is cold, where it is scary, where it is lonely. And he survived, and he came back, and now he knows what we do not know. Pisces can be poor, and in a month be the richest of all. They can be alone, and suddenly find themselves in the center of events. Their strength is that they are not a point, they are a process. They cannot be defeated, because they will always find a way to flow around the pain. To survive, to live, and to become again. And the lower they fell, the higher they rise. Because the depth is their home, and from the depths only that which cannot be destroyed rises. The third sign is Scorpio. Scorpio dies for real. He does not simulate collapse. He lives in it. His strength is in complete destruction. He is not afraid of losses, because he knows, while you hold on to the old, you are not ready for the new. And when everything collapses, he does not try to save the remains. He goes to the center of the explosion. He destroys himself, because only by going through death can he be reborn. His ashes are not dust. This is the progenitor of his strength. Scorpio does not rise, he is reborn. When life knocks the ground out from under his feet, he does not fall, he freezes. His movement disappears, his voice goes away. It is as if he disappears from the world. But inside, in this silence, the main thing begins. He looks into his pain without fear. He breaks ties, resets memory, cuts off emotions that interfere. He is one of the few who can destroy himself and not lose his soul. His destruction is conscious. He knows that with it comes strength. Real, dark, deep, and invulnerable. When he returns, it is not just another person. It is a being who has seen the darkness, who knows what it is like to be nothing. And this is what makes him everything. He becomes uncontrollable by other people's words, other people's fears, other people's attempts to influence. He now knows, everything can be taken away, except will, and this will becomes his weapon. He moves through the world with new skin in which he feels no pain, with a new look in which the illusion has disappeared, and everything he touches changes. Scorpio knows how to rise from the most destroyed states. He does not need support. He endures loneliness like armor. He survives where others do not have enough air. His strength is in contact with death, not physical, but energetic. He knows how to be reborn without losing the essence, and therefore he cannot be broken. You can hurt him, you can betray him, you can humiliate him, but you can't kill him, because at the moment when it seems that he is no more, he is just beginning to gather his shadow into a new body. The risen Scorpio is a force that no person, no circumstance, no system can stop. He is retribution, he is the return, he is the result that always comes. The fourth sign is Gemini. A representative of the Gemini sign is a living phoenix, who has not one reincarnation, but an endless series of reincarnations. His main strength is in his mind, quick adaptation and ability to change his form, voice, lifestyle, beliefs, and at the same time not lose the core of his essence. He does not just rise from the ashes, he flies out of them with a smile, as if it was planned in advance. He collapses not with tragedy, but with passion, to start over again, only smarter, more flexible, more experienced. When his world burns to the ground, the first evening he sits down and writes a plan for a new world. He knows how to break attachments, let go of the familiar, cut old ties without hesitation. If he understands, the time has come for a new version of himself. His falls are not discouraging, they inspire. Because each time he becomes different, stronger, smarter, more cunning. If he is betrayed, he will study the motives and become a psychologist. If he is fired, he will create a business. If he is left alone, he will gather a new universe around himself. Because his brain never rests. He searches for options while others are still counting losses. His rise from the ashes is not obvious. It happens behind closed doors, in silence. He can disappear for a while, disappear from sight, but during this time, he collects words, ideas, connections, like a warrior collects weapons. And when he returns, no one will recognize him, neither by words nor by actions. Because he has rewritten the code of his personality. Gemini do not take revenge. They bypass. They do not destroy in response. They simply rebuild the trajectory. They cannot be trapped, because they are air. They cannot be kept in a cage, because they are thought. Even if they are humiliated, burned, slandered, they will not waste their energy on pain. They will direct it to growth. This makes them dangerous in the eyes of those who hoped for their destruction. Because Geminis don't collapse, they evolve, and they evolve quickly. When they rise up, they do so with ease, as if it were play. But this is only a mask. Underneath it is a complex mechanism of survival and transformation. Their weakness is sensitivity, vulnerability, anxiety. But they transform this into a gift. They become sensitive, attentive, deep observers, able to recognize trouble 3 turns before it appears. This makes them prophets in their lives. They sense which way the wind is blowing and turn the sail before others. Their strength is in the speed of their thinking, in humor, behind which a sharp sword is hidden, in the ability to switch from pain to perspective, from loss to opportunity. They will not cry at closed doors. They will find a window, climb onto the roof, or simply build a new house, according to their own rules. Their rebellion does not require applause. It happens every day, and no one knows how many times they have already been reborn. Gemini can disappear, but only the old versions disappear. The new one is always somewhere nearby, smiling, listening, building. Because Geminis don't know what the end is. They always have the next step, the next life, the next success, and this makes them immortal, in spirit, in word, in moving forward. The 5th sign is Leo. A Leo is a king not because he put on a crown, but because he has been able to rule even in chaos since birth. He does not simply rise from the ashes, he does it with such grace that it seems that the fall was part of the plan. When his world collapses, he falls silent at first. The light goes out in his eyes, his pride hides, his lion heart is silent. But this calm is only before his greatest rise. Because when Leo falls, it means that a new era is coming. And he himself will create it. Leo knows the price of power, authority, respect. And therefore, when he is overthrown, when those who swore allegiance to him turn away, he does not cry. He watches. He collects the fragments of his former strength and creates from them a throne stronger than before. His rebirth is always great. This is not just a return. This is a parade, a march, a radiance. He does not return to the old, he comes to the better. Because he knows how to learn even in silence. He dies beautifully, and rises even more beautifully. In the fire that destroyed him, he tempers his charisma. From pain, he makes magic. From loneliness, ambition. Even if he loses everything, his posture does not change. Because deep down he knows, his strength is in himself, not in his environment, not in money, not in status. His strength is himself, and even if he falls, he will push off from the bottom and rush to the top. He does not take revenge. He shines. This is his answer to those who wished him to fall. He will show that even without a throne, he is a king. That even without fans, he is light. That even in the shadows, he remains the sun. He builds his new path alone, gritting his teeth, without complaining to anyone. He finds himself in pain, but when he returns, the whole world turns to him again. Because his return is like the awakening of the day after a long night. Leo is not afraid of losing. He is afraid of forgetting who he is. That is why after each fall he looks for his reflection, and finds it. Even if he has to burn the old I. His rebellion is always a story of transformation. He returns different, deeper, more powerful, with a new fire in his chest. And now neither words, nor blows, nor betrayals will bring him down. He knows the price of his own power too well. His greatness is not that he is always on top, but that he knows how to be at the bottom and still not lose his dignity. This makes him eternal, resurgent, unbroken, a legend that does not know what a final decline is.